Going in depth now on the food insecurity here in the Bay Area. As we know, this pandemic has been hard on a lot of families. ABC Action News reporter Anthony Hill spoke with people who had to reach out for help in order to put food on their tables, and one local organization that has been providing the food that desperately is needed in our communities.
It's rough all over, let's put it that way.
Since the pandemic began a year ago, it's changed all of our lives. Many people found themselves out of a job, forcing families in the Bay Area to make do with less. The pandemic also highlighted the topic of food insecurity in the Bay Area. People like Robert and Joan Gearhart have had to wait on long lines to get a box of food.
We are not alone in this. Why do you think everybody is here?
For the past 4 months, they've turned to a local food pantry, subsidizing food they can't afford.
We used to go to the grocery store and spend a paycheck on a grocery store. Now we're going to the grocery store and maybe spending 3/4 instead of the whole thing.
According to Feeding Tampa Bay, before the pandemic, about 650,000 people in the Bay Area were food insecure. Now, that number stands at 1 million. So in response to the increase in food insecurity in our area, an organization called Feeding Tampa Bay launched mega pantries.
This was supposed to be something that we did for a few months, and as we all know, the pandemic has now taken a year.
They started these outdoor pantries back in April and served 9 cities in the Bay Area 5 days a week with the help of thousands of volunteers. So far, they've provided more than 1 million meals through their mega pantry distribution sites. And as you can see behind me, there are hundreds of people waiting for their box of food. Every week here in Pasco County at this mega distribution site, you'll see hundreds of cars waiting in a single file before being allowed through. Though some people eventually get back on their feet, Feeding Tampa Bay says there's always someone else in need.
Those people are then replaced by somebody who has now lost their job or needs us a little more than they did when the pandemic first started.
As for Robert and Joan, they're just happy to have help in the community, especially when it's needed the most.
As long as they keep this pantry going, it helps out. Because if we get things that we can't use, we give it to our neighbors, and they do appreciate it.
One day, the virus will be gone, and the pandemic will be over. But Feeding Tampa Bay says they have no plans to stop food distribution through mega pantries anytime soon.
The need and access to healthy food is something that we're really committed to.
The people at Feeding Tampa Bay tell me there is still a lot of food insecurity in the Bay Area, which means their job continues. If you're in need of food and want to know the nearest distribution site near you, I've posted more information on our website. It's abcactionnews.com. In Pasco County, I'm in-depth reporter Anthony Hill, ABC Action News.